It's Randy, you're watching The Cheap Audioman. Today we are at CEDIA. It's a trade show where people show stuff, and companies spend a lot of money on booths so that people will buy their things. Anyway, there's a lot of interesting stuff here. So come along with me. Let's go on a journey together through CEDIA. See some cool stuff. It's taking way too long. I think they have pizza over here, maybe hot dogs. CEDIA at its best. Check this thing out. You're skiing in your living room. It doesn't take up any room at all.
It's about like pushing. Yeah. But I don't want you to hit hard. Just try it out, okay?
Okay.
So you don't want to hurt yourself, especially if you're untrained.
All right, I am untrained. Zombie box.
Come on.
All right, I think I'm done. It's the most realistic yellow balls bouncing off of a snare drum that I've ever seen. High sense. 120 inch. Laser. So it's CEDIA, latest and greatest technology available, and they've done it once again. I'm blown away. That's right. A white nondescript panel band is available. They're showing it off first time here at CEDIA 2022. The big old white band.
What do we play?
Here with Mr. Tim Lee from Sound United. He's going to talk about a couple new receivers that have DRAC in them.
Yeah, well, starting forward with the 3800, as you said, with this model and going up, DRAC Live will be an option. So I know a lot of folks are excited about that. 4 sub outs. So this one with the 3800, you're looking at 11.4 channels. And I think that's awesome. But what's even more so with the 4 sub outs, where you can sit and you can feel like if you're playing a video game and you can really feel the explosion and things that happen. Yeah. That's something that you'll be able to take advantage of with the new AVRs as well. There's a new GUI, and I wasn't aware that people didn't like the old GUI, but I guess, you know.
Like Odyssey or?
Exactly. Yeah. It's 1080 now. Okay. And the imaging looks really cool. I mean, you actually get this, when you're doing the setup, you see our products. Now, we do have the pre-outs, and you have the ability.
So pre-outs for every channel?
For every channel.
Well, what do you got? Front, center, surround back, height too.
Yeah, and thanks for pointing that out, yes. So pre-outs for every channel, which is a great feature. I know a lot of folks are going to be excited about that. So,
has there been any updates as far as like the streaming and the app?
Yes, actually there will be, and there will be a new update coming soon, how the app looks. So that's going to be a new feature as well. So
cool, man. Well, thanks.
Thank you, Randall. I appreciate it.
So if you watch any of the Expona coverage, you'll know that the star of the show here at CEDIA is Nick from SVS. But one of the coolest products that I have seen here is actually the SoundBase Pro, which is the successor to the wonderful sounding SoundBase Could you tell us more about it, Nick?
Oh, I'd love to. And thank you for coming to CEDIA. I think you used that
get
term
real
lightly
close
start
up.
of the show here. But yeah, no, the SoundBase Pro, it's really, it's sort of take on hi-fi over Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
That's one way we like to put it. It's a 300 watt stereo integrated amplifier.
Class D, right?
Class D.
Is it using the same modules as the previous generation?
Slightly upgraded.
Because that one sounded so natural, not like a Class D that I've heard before. So very warm, full, had a lot of soul in it. So that was the one thing I was hoping that the new generation was going to sound similar to the old generation, just with better stuff.
Yeah, we put a really nice 24-bit 192 kilohertz DAC in there, and I think that's part of what you're talking about in terms of bringing it to life. We didn't want sort of a cold, soulless Class D amplifier. 300 watts, 2-channel, 150 per, and for streaming, we added a couple different flavors. Prior to, or the first version was running on DTS Play-Fi, so you could stream high-res over Wi-Fi, but we added AirPlay 2 and Chromecast for people with Android devices.
Cool, man.
So now you have multiple flavors of.
You kind of cover all the bases with AirPlay and Chromecast.
That was important to us because I know a lot of people love the Play-Fi app, but some people don't want to have to learn an app. They just want to be able to connect and stream at CD quality or above. And then of course it has Bluetooth as well for those folks who just want the ultimate.
Keep going, man. We're just out of focus. I'm not very good at this. If anybody has not figured that out, I'm not good at this YouTube thing yet.
Well, you know what? Practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
It's not always about being in focus. Sometimes it's just about quality.
It's probably better for me to be slightly out of focus. You have a remote control though, right?
We do. That was another thing we added was an IR remote, and the front panel interface has actually been updated as well to provide rich metadata, so you get track information, whatever input that you're using, it displays that on the front panel, and that can be defeated, of course, if you want it to run dark. But we did add on the front panel as well custom presets. Before that, it was used by a dial, but now you think of a car radio, you can have your favorite Spotify playlist, maybe a podcast, internet radio station, and then
so you can do playlists on the free.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Just right behind us here, we have all of our accessories, which is one of our fastest growing parts of our business. And we've actually done our first non-audio accessory, a HDMI 2.1 cable. And that's sexier than HDMI. I mean, seriously.
Nothing sexier than HDMI.
But back to the SoundBase Pro, one of the other big features we added was an HDMI input. So now you're looking at sort of a compact AV receiver solution.
Okay, all right.
So it's still got optical.
What's the price on that?
$699.99. $699.
That's better than $799.
It is.
So Nick's building his own home theater, like building out a whole new home theater. What's like going to be like your favorite movies that you're watching, and you're like, what's going to be the first movie that you watch on your new home theater?
You know what? My favorite movie of all time is a movie called Jacob's Ladder.
Okay.
Tim Robbins.
I know that one, man.
Psychedelic war movie.
Oh, that's right.
I love that movie.
Jacob's Ladder, I remember that movie.
It's got an amazing soundtrack. It's got some war sort of action in it. It's got some really intense sort of like horror movie scenes going on as well. So I feel like it has a little bit of everything. And I've seen it 100 times, but I just never get sick of it because there's so much weirdness going on. That will probably be the first thing.
You know that other movie that's kind of along the same vein is The Serpent and the Rainbow. Have you ever seen that?
I've seen that one.
Oh, it's kind of bad, but it's kind of that weird, like, I don't know if this is reality or if I'm dreaming this type of a deal. Serpent and the Rainbow came out in late 90s. Good stuff. Well, about the same time that Jacob's Ladder came out.
Yeah, that was an interesting time for film.
Cool, man. It was good seeing you, Nick.
Randy, always a pleasure, man. Thanks for coming out.
Check out the new, when's it going to be available? New SoundBase Pro. End of October. Okay. PB16 Ultra. This is how big it is compared to Dr. Pepper. So another new product that SVS has come out with is a upgrade or a second generation of their wireless speakers. So this is the SVS Prime Wireless Pro speaker. Now SVS was kind enough to give away the first generation on one of the channel giveaways, but there's some upgrades on this one. Comes with a remote control, has Play-Fi, has Apple AirPlay 2, Chromecast. You can put an optical into it as well as an RCA. Also has HDMI ARC. So this is a good powered solution if you're looking for something that doesn't have a lot of boxes, and I can't wait to get these in. Also has a display right down there on the bottom. Hey, I'm here with Dayton Audio, which has a bunch of cool products, stuff that I've bought personally. I'm here with Josh Wickerson. What's up, Josh?
Hey, how are you?
Hey, so tell me about, like, I know Parts Express and Dayton are kind of connected. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so Dayton Audio is our house brand at Parts Express. We've been developing product for about 25 years. Mostly you may know us for raw speaker drivers, but we have a complete set of amplifiers. And one thing that we're really excited about at Parts Express is our kits, and it's a great way to really maximize the value. You know, the amount of money you may spend on a kit is going to...
And he's talking about speaker kits, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaker kits. Yeah, kits could be anything. Speaker kits, speaker building kits. We do all the work for you, all the design. The wood is CNC cut. We've got schematics for the crossovers. Don't be scared of soldering. It's not as hard as you may think. And the end result is something that if you would have spent the money that you spent on the kit, you're spending about half for the performance that kit's going to provide you, and it's a really great way to get into audio, to understand speakers, and to really get a great sounding set of speakers for your money. Our most popular is the C-Note. It's about $150. We've sold thousands of those. That's a great starter kit. Another really cool one is the Blast Box. That is a fully enclosed Bluetooth speaker, self-powered, battery-powered, and it thumps. I mean, there's a big 8-inch subwoofer right on the front of it with a matching passive radiator on the back.
Cool, man. All right, appreciate it. The brand I wasn't super familiar with is Perlison. Perlison. All right, so take us through this beauty right here. What do we got here?
A lot of high-end brands, when you talk about speaker technology, or generally you talk about new shiny materials, we do use a lot of really cool, amazing materials. Beryllium, Techstream, carbon fiber, very special tunable cone technology. But really what we like to talk about is our patent-pending technology to actually do vertical control of our dispersion, which is really helpful for better sound quality in a room. So we have 3 tweeters working in unison combined with a waveguide. So there's 2 tweeters in here also using Techstream. And only in a very small band do they overlap, and that's how we help control directivity. And then as the beryllium takes over from 1 kilohertz onto 40 kilohertz, the tweeters that are mid-ranges above it cut off at 3.5 kilohertz. Very light and airy, transient response. A lot of things that are really beneficial. The price is, in this finish, just shy of 20K a pair.
20K?
In high gloss black, they're about 18K a pair.
Well, good stuff. They're beautiful speakers. I'm sure they're worth every penny of the $20,000 asking. So I'm actually here at Audioquest. Audioquest has a listening room, and I had a great conversation with them yesterday about cables, and you know, I'm open to it, so I'm open to exploring. I don't like to practice contempt prior to investigation, so I'm going to do a little bit of not a little bit, I'm going to do some listening before and after and things like that, and hopefully you can take the journey with me. Okay? Who are you, man?
Dave Smith from Audioquest.
Dave Smith from Audioquest. Very, he's the only Dave Smith in the United States. Nobody else says that. So they're gonna put on some Diana Krall for me because that's the music every audio show. Just kidding. They're actually gonna play some Korn for me. Throw Me Away off the MTV Unplugged record. If you're not familiar with it, please download it and listen to it now. It just switched out as simply an HDMI. So he was running, so Lightning to HDMI, and then HDMI into the front of the AUX input on that Marantz. So the track was Throw Me Away, Korn, MTV Unplugged. So I just listened to it on a regular HDMI. They switched out, and this is actually their lowest end HDMI cable. And so I know you can't hear it, but I've listened to that track hundreds of times, and it sounded really good, the first one, but then the second cable, the leading notes of the percussion, because that's heavy duty percussion in the beginning of that song, is Japanese taiko drums. And the snap, so it almost seemed like, I wouldn't say a veil was lifted, but there was a bit of smearing in the lower mids, which kind of just went away. It almost seemed like it was a bit louder, but also like somebody took maybe like 300 hertz and brought it down just a little bit, and the mid-range just got super clear. How much does that cable cost?
$44.
So it's $44. So I will tell you what I'm doing. If I can't take one home today, I will be ordering one of these HDMI cables. Now, this is my experience, okay? And if you think cables are horse crap, that's fine. But they have a return policy. So I would just say, go buy one, and if you don't like it, take it back. Because unless they're doing some type of trickery in here, I definitely heard a difference in cables. I know. Cables make a difference. Well, maybe. I'm gonna keep listening. So we're doing the cable that I just heard, which I'm buying, maybe, if I don't have the other one. And then they're upgrading the cable, and then next we're adding on a power conditioner. I know, we're going controversial today. Power conditioners and cables, all right. So I did hear a difference, significantly less difference, more nuance from the just, I don't know, like Walmart style of an HDMI cable up to their, what's the first entry level HDMI? Pearl, so the Pearl. So less of a sonic difference, but what I did hear was, or experience was more of a soundstage difference. And there was stuff more clearly defined. So at the beginning of that track, you know, all the percussion, well, when the drummers are going, then they're kind of like shouting and they're really getting into it. So previously, the last time I heard it, I didn't hear some of the yelling. There's the yelling going on. I didn't hear it. So less of a sonic difference, more of an experience difference, more of a spatial kind of difference. So very, very, very interesting. Now they're plugging in a power conditioner. Apparently there's high current outlets on the power conditioner for your amplifiers and stuff like that, and then source plugins or whatever you want to call it. So immediately, like, it seemed like everything just started kind of edging forward each time. So now the instruments, the drums especially, came up. The decay of the drums was snappier and quicker, so there was, you get almost like a roundness to the initial attack, and then the and it comes down. So I'm kind of blown away, to the point where I'm probably going to be buying this stuff. I'm pretty shocked. I'm shocked, and I wish I would have actually started trying this stuff earlier. But it's been great because I've been been able to be guided through the process where I just kind of didn't know as far as cables. So anyway, I'm really impressed with Audioquest. I didn't even mean to do that either. So that's going to be it for CEDIA this year. So I hope you enjoyed it. I think the thing that impressed me the most was the Audioquest cable stuff. So I know this is gonna probably be a little bit controversial, but I heard what I heard, so I'm not gonna denounce that or dismiss it. So don't binge watch anything on Netflix or Hulu. Binge listen and fill your soul with happiness. So with that, I'm Randy. I'm the Chief Audio Man.